Krishna Tirth Sutji narrated a tale to all the assembled sages during ancient times. A Brahman named Ramakrishna did an austere penance at Venkatachal mountain. He remained immobile during the entire course of his penance, resulting into the development of molehills all over his body. Indra was scarred by Ramakrishna's penance and caused a heavy downpour for a week. All the molehills were washed away from Ramakrishna's body. Lord Srinivas became pleased and appeared before him. He blessed Ramakrishna by saying, "This holy place, where you have performed a great penance, will be named after you as Krishna Tirth. Anybody who makes a pilgrimage to this place will be liberated from all the sins." Eulogizing Lord Venkateshwar, Sutji says, "A man who has the good fortune of seeing the divine appearance of Lord Srinivas even for a moment, attains salvation." Some other places of pilgrimage on Venkatachal mountain. All the sages then requested Sutji to tell about some other places of pilgrimage situated on Venkatachal mountain. Sutji replied, "There are about 108 holy places situated on Venkatachal mountain. Among all these holy places, 6 are considered to be capable of bestowing salvation: Swami Pushkarini, Akash Ganga, Papvinshan, Pandu Tirth, Kumardharika Tirth and Tambu Tirth." Anjana's penance at Akashganga Tirth, describing how Vayudev had once assured Anjana that he would take birth as her son, Sutji told the sages, "Anjana, being issue-less even after a long married life, decided to do penance in order to beget a son. Sage Matang advised her to go to Akashganga Tirth where her wishes would get fulfilled." Sage Matang also described the geographical location. At a distance of 10 yojans towards south is situated Dhanchal mountain, which is believed to be the abode of Lord Narayan Simha. Brahma Tirth lies in its vicinity. At a distance of 10 yojans south of Brahma Tirth, flows river Suvarnamukhari. Venkatachal mountain is situated to the north of this river, and the holiest place called Swami Pushkarini is situated among its numerous peaks. You should visit that place and take a holy dip in its water. After that you should seek the blessings of Lord Varahaswami and Lord Venkateshwar. You should then go towards north of Swami Tirth and you would reach Akashganga." Acting as per Matang's instructions, Anjana went to Akashganga Tirth and did her penance. Finally Lord Vayudev appeared before her and promised to incarnate as Hanuman. Vishnu advises Brahma to go to Purushottam Kshetra. The sages asked, "O revered sage, we would like to know more about Purushottam Kshetra, where there is a majestic wooden idol of Lord Vishnu." Sage Gemini replied, "The sacrosanct place of Purushottam Kshetra is graced by the presence of Lord Jagannatha. During ancient times, Lord Vara had rescued Prithvi from the clutches of Hiranyaksha, the mighty demon who had abducted her to Rasatla. After Prithvi had been established in its original position, Lord Brahma commenced his creations. Lord Brahma wondered about the means by which human beings could get liberated from 3 major types of sorrow: adhyatmic, spiritual, adhyadevic, deities wrath, adhyabantik, related with this world. He sought the help of Lord Vishnu, who eulogized the greatness of Purushottam Kshetra and advised him to go there. Lord Vishnu said, "Purushottam Kshetra is situated at the seashore, to the south of river Mahandi. This sacrosanct place of mine does not get affected by deluge. I dwell at this holiest place as Lord Purushottam. There is a holy pond called Rohin in the vicinity. Anybody who takes a holy dip in that pond gets absolved of all his sins. O Brahma, You must pay a visit to Purushottam Kshetra, where spending a day bestows virtues greater than all the austerities combined together. This way, Lord Brahma went to Purushottam Kshetra as per the instructions of Lord Vishnu. Markandeya eulogizes Vishnu. Lord Brahma soon after reaching Purushottam Kshetra sat down and started meditating. He was so engrossed in his meditation that he remained in that state for a very long time. This resulted into total chaos, as Yamraj found that his power of causing death had no effect on people living in Purushottam Kshetra. Worried as he was, Yamraj rushed towards Nilekal mountain and sought Lord Vishnu's intervention in the matter. Lord Vishnu smiled and signaled Goddess Lakshmi to say something. Goddess Lakshmi said, "O Suryanandan, anybody residing at this holy place is freed from the vicious cycles of birth and death after becoming absolved of all his sins. This is the reason why you are experiencing this unusual problem. The whole world except this holy place will come into your jurisdiction." Yamraj was amazed by this revelation, so he asked Lakshmi, "I would like to know why such a privilege is being given to this place." Lakshmi replied, "O Ravinandan, at the time of deluge, when the whole world was submerged in the water, sage Markandeya was struggling to find a secure place for his survival. Although he was blessed with an unusually long life of 7 kalpas, but still he needed a place to live in. He started swimming and finally managed to reach Purushottam Kshetra, which had remained unscathed by the turbulence of the deluge. There he saw a divine tree called Shaivite. Markandeya continued to swim along the coast, wondering how that place had managed to remain unaffected by deluge when the whole world had been submerged. Suddenly he heard a voice, which appeared to be coming from the direction of the Shaivite. "O Markandeya, don't worry. Take my refuge and you shall be protected." Markandeya was very surprised and looked all around. He kept on swimming and saw Lord Vishnu, who was engrossed in his yoga nidra in Kshetra Sagar. Lakshmi, was also present there. Markandeya eulogized Vishnu in the following way: "Salutations to the Supreme Lord, the source of all creations. O Jagannatha, protect me from getting drowned." Lord Vishnu opened his eyes and found Markandeya gasping for breath. On realizing the gravity of the situation, he said, "Raise your head and look at the top of this kalpavat. You would find an infant sleeping on a leaf of the kalpavat. The infant is none other than Kal himself. You should enter inside his, Kal's, body through his opened mouth and live peacefully, as there is no other place for you to live in." Markandeya entered into Kal's body as per the instructions given by Lord Vishnu and was amazed by the expanse of his belly, which appeared like a bottomless pit. He also saw all the 14 Govans existing within Kal's belly, including all the creatures, deities, sages, siddhas, gandharvas, etc. Markandeya wandered all over the place and after getting tired came out through Kal's opened mouth. He found Lord Vishnu was still present there, accompanied by his consort Lakshmi. Markandeya made salutations to both of them and narrated his experiences he had inside Kal's belly. Lord Vishnu blessed him and made a revelation: "The place you had visited few moments ago is beyond the limits of creation or deluge. The name of this holiest place is Purushottam Kshetra, and it is my permanent abode, for I do not leave it even for a moment." Markandeya was very impressed and requested Lord Vishnu to allow him to live there. Lord Vishnu replied, "O Brahmarishi, I shall remain at Purushottam Kshetra till the end of this kalpa. I shall also create a sacrosanct place, which would enable you to become immortal." Sage Markandeya then dug up a reservoir with the help of Vishnu's chakra. He did an austere penance to please Lord Maheshwar, as the result of which he was indeed blessed with immortality. In course of time, this reservoir became famous as Markandeya Kund. Holy places in the vicinity of Purushottam Kshetra. Dwelling in length upon the majesty of Purushottam Kshetra, Goddess Lakshmi said Purushottam Kshetra resembles a conch in shape and is graced by the presence of Lord Shiva. Towards its north is situated a temple of Lord Nilkanth. A famous Shiva linga named Kapilmochan is also situated in the vicinity. One who makes a pilgrimage to Kapilmochan becomes liberated from gravest of sins. A temple of goddess Vimla Devi is also situated nearby. Purushottam Kshetra is considered to be supreme among all the places of pilgrimage, and for this very reason it is aptly named Tirth Raj. A divine pond called Rohing Kund is also situated nearby. Anybody who takes a holy dip there is freed from the vicious cycles of birth and death. It is believed that the increased level of water at the time of deluge ultimately recedes and disappears into this pond. Goddess Lakshmi said, O Dhanraj, this holy place is beyond your jurisdiction because people living there never experience death. It is well protected by 8 goddesses from all the 8 directions. The names of these 8 goddesses are Mangala, Lamba, Kalratri, Marichika, Vimla, Sarvamangala, Ardashini and Chandripa. How can Lord Rudra be absent when Rudrani has manifested herself in 8 forms? So, he has manifested himself in 8 different forms as well: Kapilmochan, Kshetrapal, Yameshwar, Markandeyeshwar, Ishan, Bilveshwar, Nilkanth, and Vateshwar. While describing the majesty of Purushottam Kshetra, Goddess Lakshmi revealed to Lord Brahma, in the coming Satya Yuga there would be a king named Indradyumna and would be famous for his unflinching devotion in Lord Vishnu. Being pleased by the king's devotion, Lord Vishnu would ultimately manifest himself from a wooden structure to bless him. Vishwakarma would then carve out 4 idols, Jagannatha, Balbhadra, Subhadra and Sudarshan Chakra, from the wooden block, all of which would be installed by none other than you, Brahma. Once, while sage Gemini was describing the greatness of Purushottam Kshetra to the assembled sages, all of them curiously asked him, where is Purushottam Kshetra situated? Gemini replied, Utkal is situated at the eastern coast of Bharatavarsha. At the time of deluge, when everything gets submerged in water, Utkal remains unaffected, and it is the very place from where the knowledge of the Vedas spread in all directions. The residents of Utkal are not only learned but also very prosperous. There is not a single person in this land who is not a devotee of Lord Vishnu. All the people belonging to the 4 prominent castes, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, diligently follow their respective dharma. This holy place never experiences natural calamities of any kind. Sage Gemini then went on to narrate the tale of King Indradyumna to all the assembled sages. In Satya Yuga there lived a noble and virtuous king named Indradyumna, who ruled over the province of Malwa. He was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. One day, while worshipping in a temple, he asked the priest, I have a wish, which still remains unfulfilled. I have a deep desire of seeing Lord Jagannatha with my mortal eyes. Is there any means with the help of which I can get my wish fulfilled? The royal priest had no answer to the king's query, so he kept quiet. Suddenly, he saw a group of pilgrims coming towards the temple. He thought that perhaps one of them might be having an answer to the king's query. When the pilgrims arrived at the temple, the royal priest posed the same question to them. One of the pilgrims answered, There is a place called Odra, where is situated a grand temple of Lord Jagannath. This sacrosanct place is also famously known as Purushottam Kshetra and is situated at the foothills of the Nilekal mountain. There is a holy pond called Rohin situated nearby. At the eastern bank of this pond is situated a majestic temple of Lord Vasudeva. The idol of Lord Vasudeva is made of Indraneel, diamond. To the west of this temple lies Shabradeep hermitage, from where starts a path leading to Jagannatha temple. Having said this, the pilgrim disappeared from everybody's sight. Not only Indradyumna but all the pilgrims were equally amazed by his sudden disappearance. Indradyumna was convinced that Lord Jagannath had himself come there in the guise of a pilgrim. Now, his desire of visiting Purushottam Kshetra became even more intense. Indradyumna instructed his priest to find out the exact location of Purushottam Kshetra by sending somebody over there. Later on, the priest went home and sought the help of Vidyapati, his younger brother, in this regard. Vidyapati readily agreed to help his brother, and one fine day he proceeded on his journey with a select group of his trusted friends. After a long and arduous journey, all of them reached Ekmavan forest, situated at the foothills of Nilekal mountain. The thought of being so near their destination made everybody extremely excited. But, despite their best of efforts, they could not find Shabradeep ashram. Being tired, all of them decided to take rest for a while and then recommence their efforts to find out the location of Shabradeep hermitage. Finding a huge tree, all of them took rest under the shade of that tree. Suddenly, they heard a heavenly voice, which appeared to be coming from the western direction. They followed the voice and reached Shabradeep ashram in a short time. There they saw a large gathering of devotees. One of the devotees, whose name was Vishwavasu, curiously asked Vidyapati, "It is not easy to reach this place. From where are you coming and where do you intend to go? You must be tired. Wait till I return with some refreshment for all of you." Vidyapati was not in a mood to waste his time, as he was aware that Indradyumna was eagerly waiting for him to return. He told Vishwavasu, "I have a difficult mission to accomplish, so I am not in a position to waste my time. I am the younger brother of the royal priest of King Indradyumna. The king has vowed not to have a single morsel of food till he makes a pilgrimage to Purushottam Kshetra. He has sent me with a specific purpose of finding the exact location of Purushottam Kshetra and the easiest route leading to it. So, help me reach the temple of Lord Jagannath as soon as possible." Vidyapati eulogizes Lord Nilmadhav. Vishwavasu told Vidyapati, "I have heard this prophecy of Indradyumna's possible arrival at Purushottam Kshetra in the near future. Not only that, I have also heard that Indradyumna would become so impressed with Purushottam Kshetra that he would settle down there for good after renouncing everything." Vishwavasu then requested Vidyapati to follow him and started negotiating the steep heights of Nilekal mountain. Vidyapati followed him through the curvy and arduous paths of the mountain. Having walked for some time, Vishwavasu pointed towards a pond and said, "This pond is famously known as Rohin Kund. The Kalpavad that you see towards the east of this pond is considered to be so sacrosanct that a sinner becomes liberated of all his sins once he comes under its shade. Lord Jagannath's temple is situated between Rohin Kund and the Kalpavad. Go ahead and have a darshan of Lord Jagannath, for whom you have undertaken such an arduous travel." Vidyapati's joy knew no bounds, as he had been waiting for this moment for a long time. First he purified himself by taking a holy dip in Rohin Kund and then went inside the temple to worship Lord Jagannath. He worshipped Lord Jagannath by chanting the sacred Pranav mantra. After the worship was over, Vishwavasu requested Vidyapati to visit his place, which was nearby. Vidyapati agreed and accompanied Vishwavasu to his place. Vidyapati was given a royal treat by his host, which made him wonder as to how could Vishwavasu arrange all the luxurious things at such a remote place. He could not control himself and asked Vishwavasu, even a king would have found it difficult to treat his guest as lavishly like you. I am amazed how you could make arrangements for all these things at a remote and secluded place like this. How do you manage this? Vishwavasu replied, it is not as difficult as you believe. Since Purushottam Kshetra is a sacrosanct place and it is frequently visited by the deities who make divine offerings to Lord Jagannatha, I collect the residuals of whatever is offered to Jagannatha from the temple and bring it home. So, I really don't have to make any special efforts to accumulate divine foodstuffs. On account of eating these divine foodstuffs, not only we have been blessed by eternal youth but also we are never troubled by old age. Vidyapati was very impressed and requested Vishwavasu to become his friend. He also reminded Vishwavasu that he wanted to return as soon as possible so that the king could go on a pilgrimage to Purushottam Kshetra. But Vishwavasu made a shocking disclosure to Vidyapati and said King Indradyumna will never be able to have a divine glimpse of Lord Jagannath as the Lord is soon going to disappear. But don't disclose this fact to the king, otherwise he would get disheartened and abandon his plan of making a pilgrimage to Purushottam Kshetra. Finally, when the king in his utter frustration would try to end his life after not being able to have a divine glimpse of Nilmadhav, the most gracious Lord will appear in his dream and instruct him to get constructed 4 wooden idols of Jagannath, Balbhadra, Subhadra and Sudarshan Chakra. Having accomplished his mission, Vidyapati proceeded on his return journey and once again he visited Purushottam Kshetra, which fell on the way. He picked up a garland, which had been offered to Nilmadhav by some deity. Finally, when he reached Malwa he found King Indradyumna eagerly waiting for him. After presenting the garland to the king, he narrated his experiences he had at Purushottam Kshetra. O king, Lord Jagannath's idol is made of Nilmani diamond and is very ancient. Even the deities have deep regards and undiluted reverence for Lord Jagannath and are frequent visitors to Purushottam Kshetra. The garland, which I have given you, was in fact had been offered to Lord Jagannath by the deities. These flowers do not wither and have fragrance lasting for eternity. Purushottam Kshetra remains untouched by old age, sorrow or disease and gives salvation to anybody who goes on a pilgrimage over there. Indradyumna leaves for Purushottam Kshetra. Indradyumna had been waiting for this moment for a long time, the moment when he would get a chance to go on a pilgrimage to Purushottam Kshetra. Revealing his great plan to Vidyapati, he said, now, the time has finally come for me to go on a pilgrimage to Purushottam Kshetra. I also intend to develop that holy place as a prominent place of pilgrimage. I would shift my subject to that holy place and perform 100 Ashwamedha yagas once I reach there. I also intend to devote rest of my life in the worship of Lord Jagannath. While the conversation was going on, the ever-wandering sage Narada arrived there and informed Indradyumna how pleased were the deities after learning of his holy intention of developing Purushottam Kshetra into a major place of pilgrimage. Narada also dwelt on length on the virtues of Jagannath's worship. Indradyumna, thinking that Narada might prove to be of great help during the course of pilgrimage because of his vast travelling experience, requested him to accompany him to Purushottam Kshetra. Narada readily agreed to accompany the king and said, O king, I shall reveal to you the importance of all the holy places that we come across in the course of our pilgrimage. Finally, King Indradyumna left for Purushottam Kshetra, followed by a large procession that consisted of his subject, all the ministers and army officers. The entourage touched the bank of river Mahandi by evening. Deciding to take rest and spend the night there, King Indradyumna first took his bath and then worshipped Lord Jagannath. After the king had taken his bath, all the rest of the people also took their bath, and then everybody sat down to have their dinner. After the meal was over, while Indradyumna was busy discussing with his ministers on the future course of action, somebody came with the news that the king of Utkal had arrived. Indradyumna ordered the messenger to bring the esteemed guest with all the honor and respect. The king of Utkal arrived and broke a disturbing news. Indradyumna, I am afraid your intention of having a divine glimpse of Lord Jagannath is not going to fructify, as Lord Nilmadhav has presently concealed himself beneath a huge heap of sand caused by a ferocious sandstorm. The fallout of this inauspicious incident has been extremely adverse on my kingdom, as my people are experiencing acute famine. Indradyumna was shocked. Especially the thought of not getting a chance to have a divine glimpse of Lord Nilmadhav made him dejected. He saw all his efforts going in vain. But Narada consoled him by saying, "Don't worry. Lord Nilmadhav is extremely merciful, and he will certainly give you an opportunity to have his divine glimpse." Indradyumna reaches Ekmarachetra. Continuing with the tale of Indradyumna, Sage Gemini told all the sages next morning. Indradyumna and his entourage crossed Mahandi on boats and reached Ekmarachetra, where they worshipped Lord Purushottam. After that they worshipped on their onwards journey and reached Koteshwar Mahalaya, where they worshipped Lord Tribhuneshwar with appropriate rituals. Lord Tribhuneshwar appeared after becoming pleased and blessed Indradyumna that his wish of seeing Lord Jagannath was soon going to be fulfilled. Lord Tribhuneshwar then instructed Narada, "O great soul, after reaching Purushottam Kshetra, help Indradyumna perform 100 yagas as per the instructions given by Lord Brahma. I, along with goddess Durga, dwell at the entrance of conch-shaped Purushottam Kshetra. Although presently Lord Jagannath has concealed himself beneath a heap of sand, yet very soon he is going to manifest himself. Indradyumna should get constructed a magnificent temple of Lord Jagannath at the same place where once existed his idol, and presently which is hidden beneath the heap of sand. Later on, Vishwakarma would then carve out 4 idols from a single piece of wood, which would subsequently be installed by Lord Brahma himself. Finally, Indradyumna's wish of seeing Lord Jagannath would get fulfilled. Narada assured Lord Tribhuneshwar that all his instructions would be followed in letter and spirit. The procession then left for the place indicated by Lord Tribhuneshwar. Indradyumna eulogizes Lord Nilmadhav after reaching the temple of Nilkant Mahadev. All of them worshipped Mahadev and Durga. They then visited the temple of Lord Narasimha Simha, situated under a sandalwood tree at the foothills of Nilekal mountain. King Indradyumna was anxiously waiting for the moment he would have a divine glimpse of Lord Jagannath. He requested Narada to take him to the place where Jagannath had hidden himself beneath the heap of sand. Narada took him near a banyan tree and said, "Look at this huge banyan tree that is 2 yojans in height and whose trunk is spread in the area of 1 yojan. To the north of this banyan tree and to the north of Narasimha temple lies the place where Lord Nilmadhav used to have his dwelling some time ago, but who has presently concealed himself. Now, the time is not very far when you would see Lord Jagannath with your mortal eyes. Indradyumna bowed in reverence to the place where Lord Jagannath was supposed to remanifest himself in the near future. He eulogized the Lord as if he were already present there, and this was true as Jagannath's idol was indeed present there, albeit hidden beneath heaps of sand. He prayed, "O Lord, you are the one in whom every living creature ultimately takes refuge. My only wish is to be able to see your idol, which is presently hidden beneath heaps of sand." Hardly had Indradyumna finished his prayer when he heard a heavenly voice, "O king, do not worry. The day is not far when you would see me with your mortal eyes. You just need to follow Narada's instructions and your wish will be fulfilled." Narada installs the idol of Narasimha. Narada told Indradyumna, "Now, we should install an idol of Lord Narasimha near Nilkant's temple, for this is the very place where you will be performing 1000 Ashwamedh yagas in the days to come. So, your first priority should be to get constructed a magnificent temple of Lord Narasimha. I plan to stay here for 5 more days as Vishwakarma will be needing my help in carving out the idol of Lord Narasimha." Leaving Narada alone near the Nilkant temple, Indradyumna went near the sandalwood tree, which was at a little distance from the temple, and was surprised to find Sugat, Vishwakarma's son, waiting for him. He requested Sugat to construct a grand temple with its main entrance facing west. Sugat constructed the temple within 4 days. On the 5th day, Narada arrived there with an idol of Lord Narasimha, which had been carved out by Vishwakarma. An auspicious day was chosen for installing the idol. After the idol had been installed, everybody including King Indradyumna, Narada as well as the people accompanying the procession worshipped Lord Narasimha. Indradyumna performs Ashwamedha Yagas. Sages, who had been listening to the tale narrated by Gemini with rapt attention till then, asked, "What did Indradyumna next do after the idol of Lord Narasimha had been installed?" Sage Gemini replied, "After the idol of Lord Narasimha had been installed, Indradyumna began making preparations for Ashwamedha Yagya. He sent invitations to all the deities, learned Brahmins and sages. When everybody arrived, he made a special request to Indra to remain present at the oblation site till the completion of 1000 Ashwamedha Yagyas. Indra assured Indradyumna of his full cooperation and advised him to go ahead with his plan of accomplishing 1000 Ashwamedha Yagyas. Finally, Indradyumna performed the first yagya under the supervision of learned priests. This way, he was able to successfully accomplish 999 yagas without any problem. Finally, when the last Ashwamedha Yagya was being performed, Indradyumna had a divine glimpse of Lord Vishnu while he was engrossed in his meditation. Indradyumna narrated his experience to Narada, to which he got a reply that it was a good omen, which proved that the king was going to see Lord Jagannath with his mortal eyes. Jagannath idol is carved out after the rituals of final yagya ended. Narada advised Indradyumna to perform the rituals of Purnahuti to mark the end of yagya ceremony. Narada then went on to say, "A tree is considered to be the partial incarnation, Ansha avatar, of Lord Vishnu. For each of his hair that falls on the earth gets transformed into a tree." Narada, then pointing towards a tree, told Indradyumna, "The Almighty Lord has manifested himself in the form of this tree. Now, you should make preparations to get this tree installed on the great altar inside the temple." The tree to which Narada had pointed was unique in the sense that it had only 4 branches on it. Indradyumna, following the instructions, ordered his men to uproot the said tree and then install it on the Mahavedi inside the temple. But, At the same time he was wondering as to who would carve out the 4 idols of Jagannath, Balbhadra, Subhadra and Sudarshan Chakra. Suddenly, a heavenly voice was heard. Lord Vishnu would manifest himself on the sacred altar on his own. An old carpenter, who is standing among you, should be sent inside the temple premise. The main door of the temple should then be shut and nobody should try to enter the temple till the idols are ready. One more thing to be kept in mind is that all of you should keep on beating drums so that nobody hears the sound emanating from the carving of the idols. Anybody who hears this sound is doomed to become deaf. Similarly, anybody who tries to see the act of idols being made shall lose his power of sight. Indradyumna made elaborate arrangements as per the instructions given by the heavenly voice. The old carpenter was sent inside and the main door of the temple shut. On the 15th day, Lord Jagannath manifested himself along with Balbhadra, Subhadra and Sudarshan Chakra. Once again heavenly voice was heard which said, O king, get all the 4 idols colored on the basis of the complexion of the respective deities. The color of Jagannath's idol should be dark blue similar to that of dark clouds. Similarly, the idol of Balbhadra should be colored in white just like his fair complexion. The color of goddess Subhadra's idol should be reddish just like the rising sun. The Sudarshan Chakra should be painted deep red. Either the descendants of Vishwavasu or your royal priest are entitled to participate in the consecration ceremony of the idols in future events. Indradyumna, once again following the instructions, got the idols colored in the way specified by the heavenly voice. After that, all the 4 idols were adorned with beautiful apparels and ornaments. Now, they really looked divine in their new looks. Looking at the divine idols of Jagannath, Indradyumna went into trance. Seeing his condition, Narada advised not to waste time and seek any boon from Lord Jagannath because the sole purpose for which Jagannath had manifested himself was to bless him and to fulfill his wish. Indradyumna immediately realized what Narada meant to say. He eulogized Lord Jagannath in the following way: O Jagannath, help me out from the sorrows of this world. I don't aspire for anything else. Subsequently, Narada and the whole entourage, which had come along with King Indradyumna, worshipped Lord Jagannath, Balbhadra, Subhadra and Sudarshan Chakra. Lord Jagannath was worshipped amidst the chanting of Dwadashakshar mantra while Jagannath was worshipped with Purusha Sukta. Similarly, Subhadra and Sudarshan Chakra were worshipped amidst the chanting of Divisutra and Vedic verses respectively. Finally, donations were made to the Brahmins and everybody was sent off with respect. Consecration of the idols. King Indradyumna was anxious to get performed the rituals of consecration as soon as possible, so he asked Narada, I am not aware of the proper rituals that are employed in the consecration of an idol. I need your help in this regard. Narada then made a list of articles required for the consecration of idols and instructed Indradyumna to make arrangements for all those items. He also instructed the king to get constructed a grand palace for Lord Brahma, who was supposed to arrive shortly to perform the consecration ceremony. Narada said, get constructed 3 chariots for all the 3 deities. The chariot meant for Lord Jagannath should have a mast on its top with the figure of Garuda on it. Similarly, Balbhadra's chariot should have a mast with a plough drawn on it, whereas Subhadra's chariot should have a mast with a beautiful lotus drawn on it. The number of horses pulling the chariots of Jagannath, Balbhadra and Subhadra should be 16, 14 and 12 respectively. It did not take much time to construct the 3 chariots as per the instructions given by Narada. Very soon Lord Brahma arrived there, accompanied by all the deities. to perform the consecration of the 4 idols. On seeing Lord Brahma, Indradyumna's joys knew no bounds and he paid his obeisance to the Creator. Lord Brahma said, "See how fortunate you are. All the deities and sages have come here to help you in your cause." Lord Brahma then performed the rituals of consecration on the auspicious day of Ashtami of the bright half of the Hindu month Vaishak. The day was Thursday and the nakshatra was Pushya. Rath Yatra. Dwelling on length about the auspicious days on which Rath Yatra should be taken out, Sage Gemini told the assembled sages the combination of Tej, falling in the month of Vaishak, bright half, and Rohini Nakshatra, is considered to be extremely auspicious. A king should get constructed 3 chariots on the above mentioned day. The entire path along which the chariots as well as the procession is supposed to pass should be decorated with beautiful flowers and banners. On the 2nd day of the bright half of the Hindu month Ashad, all the 3 deities are worshipped and subsequently installed on their respective chariots, which are then pulled by the devotees. The procession then passes through the major routes of the city so that people can pay their obeisance. After reaching Gudaicha Nagar, the procession should stay there for 7 days on the bank of Bindu Tirth. On the 8th day, all the chariots should begin their return journey. This famous Rath Yatra lasts for 9 days. Some prominent places of pilgrimage. Once, Sage Shaunak asked Sutji about the means which enabled human beings to attain salvation in Kali Yuga. Sutji recounted a tale. Once, Kartikeya had posed the same question to Lord Shiva. Emphasizing on the importance of pilgrimages, Lord Shiva had told him that in Kali Yuga anybody could attain salvation by going on pilgrimage to holy places. Giving names of some prominent holy places and rivers, Lord Shiva had told Kartikeya that some of them were capable of fulfilling any wish of a man, while some gave salvation. The names of some prominent rivers Lord Shiva had given were Ganga, Godavari, Narmada, Tapti, Yamuna, Kshipra, Goitmi, Koishiki, Kaveri, Tamraparni, Chandrabhaga, Sindhu, Gandaki, Saraswati, etc. According to Shiva, all these rivers were not only capable of fulfilling any wish of a man but also giving salvation. Naming some prominent holy places, Lord Shiva had told Kartikeya that Ayodhya, Dwarka, Kashi, Mathura, Avanti, Kurukshetra, Ramtirth, Kachi, Purushottam Kshetra, Pushkar Kshetra, Vara Kshetra and Badrikashram were capable of liberating a man from the sorrows of this world. Lord Shiva had told Kartikeya, anybody who goes on a pilgrimage to Ayodhya becomes absolved of all his sins. Lord Hari dwells at Dwarka and does not abandon it even for a moment. A devotee, who takes a holy dip in river Gomti and then pays obeisance to Lord Krishna, attains salvation even if he is ignorant. In the same manner, one who takes a bath in the holy Panchaganga at Varanasi, becomes free from the cycles of birth and death. Anybody who goes on a pilgrimage to Kashi and pays obeisance to Lord Vishwanath, is freed from all the bondage of this world. Great importance has been attached to the performance of Tarpan at Vishramtirth, and anybody who performs the rituals of Tarpan with sesame seeds and water, his ancestors are freed from the tortures of the hell. Taking a holy dip in Kotaitirth at Avantipuri, in the Hindu month of Vaishak, and worshipping Lord Mahakaleshwar too absolves a man of all his sins. Donating gold either at Kurukshetra or Ramtirth on a solar eclipse day helps a man in attaining salvation. Going on a pilgrimage to Purushottam Kshetra and worshipping Lord Jagannatha after taking a holy dip in Markandeya Sarovar bestows incomparable virtues. Badrinath, the dwelling place of Lord Vishnu, is considered to be the supreme place of pilgrimage, and even its remembrance is capable of giving salvation. Virtues attained by the performance of various deeds, tapa, yoga, samadhi, appear to be insignificant as compared to virtues attained by going on a pilgrimage to Badrikashram. The majesty of Badrikshetra Kartikeya asked Lord Shiva, how did this sacrosanct place originate? Who is the presiding deity of this place? Lord Shiva replied, Badrikashram is an eternal city and Lord Narayan is its presiding deity. A mere sight of Badrikashram is enough to free a man from all the bondage of life. There are numerous other holy places situated in the vicinity, Kedarnath being one of them. To emphasize the significance of Badrikashram, Lord Shiva narrated the following tale to Kartikeya in Satya Yuga. Lord Vishnu existed in his physical form at Badrikashram for the benediction of human beings. But, in Treta Yuga, only sages had the privilege of perceiving him with the help of yoga. At the advent of Dwapar, things changed drastically and Lord Vishnu just disappeared from Badrikashram. Deities became worried and asked Lord Brahma about the reason that made Lord Vishnu disappear. Even Lord Brahma had no answer to this question. Thinking that Lord Vishnu must have gone to Kshair Sagar, his eternal abode, all the deities led by Brahma went there. They eulogized Vishnu, who emerged from the Kshair Sagar. But, none of the deities except Lord Brahma could see him. Lord Vishnu told Brahma that the main reason why he disappeared from Badrikashram was the flawed intelligence and arrogance of the deities. Brahma informed the deities whatever Vishnu had told him. All the deities were ashamed of themselves and returned to heaven with long faces. Feeling pity on the deities, I, Shiva, disguised myself as a sannyasi and carried Lord Vishnu's idol from Nardatirth to Badrikashram and installed it over there to uplift the sagging morale of the deities. This is how Lord Vishnu once again graced Badrikashram with his presence. Even a grain of prasad had at Badrikashram is enough to liberate a man from all his sins. The importance of Hindu month, Kartik. Once, on being asked by some sages about the significance of the Hindu month Kartik, Sutji narrated the following tale. Once, Narada had asked Lord Brahma the same question. At that time Lord Brahma had revealed to Narada that Kartik was supreme among all the months, just as Lord Vishnu is supreme among all the deities and Badrikashram is the crown of all the places of pilgrimage. According to Brahma, all these three would have greater significance in Kali Yuga as compared to any other yuga. Kartik is very dear to Lord Vishnu and any virtuous deed done during this month never goes without being rewarded. One important characteristic of this month is that all the deities live in the proximity of human beings for the entire period of the month and accept everything that is offered to them. Penance done in this month or donations made during this month is believed to give imperishable virtues. There is a special significance of donating food grains during this month. Similarly, worshipping Shaligram during this month also has great significance. Observing austerities during this month or worshipping Lord Vishnu with appropriate rituals liberates one's ancestors from the tortures of the hell. Worshipping Lord Vishnu with petals of lotus helps him to become absolved of all the sins committed in his previous many births. Worshipping Lord Vishnu with tulsi leaves helps one in getting cured of incurable diseases. The importance of holy dips in Margashirsh. Continuing with the description of the significance of various months, Sutji said, once, while Lord Vishnu was engrossed in his Yoganidra at Shvetadvipa, Lord Brahma arrived there and requested him to describe the importance of Margashirsh. Lord Vishnu had told him that a devotee aspiring for unification with him must observe austerities during this month. Describing the proper method of observing austerities, Lord Vishnu had said that one should get up early in the morning and after performing the ritualistic achaman, he should remember me by chanting my 1000 names. Next, he should take his bath according to the rituals mentioned in the scriptures. As follows: he should remove some soil from near the roots of tulsi plant and pluck few tulsi leaves. Holding both the things in his hand, he should chant either Gayatri mantra or the mantra Om Namo Narayanai, so that they become sanctified. While taking his bath, it is a must to eulogize Ganga in the following way: O Ganga, thou have manifested from Vishnu's feet and hence called Vaishnavi. Myself being a devotee of Lord Vishnu, you should protect me from all the possible sins I am likely to commit in my whole life. A devotee should say this prayer for 7 times and take the same number of holy dips in the river. He should then put on tidy clothes and perform tarpan in the names of all the deities, sages as well as ancestors. The significance of charity made in Vaishak. Continuing with his tales, Sutji said, once, King Ambarish asked Narada about the reason why Lord Vishnu had special liking for the Hindu month Vaishak. Narada's answer was that Vaishak had been given special privilege by Lord Brahma himself and is believed to fulfill all the wishes of a man. No other month is as dear to Lord Vishnu as Vaishak. The sin raises its ugly head only till a devotee has bathed before sunrise in the month of Vaishak, but once he has taken his bath, all his sins just disappears. This is also the period when all the deities are believed to dwell in all the rivers, ponds, lakes, apart from the holy rivers. Great significance has been attached to doing charitable deeds in this month, especially providing water to thirsty. Similarly, donating certain articles like umbrella, fans, shoes, all have their own importance. One who gets constructed an inn for the comfort of the travelers and provides water to them attains imperishable virtues. No charitable deed can ever match the virtue of donating food grains, and one who accomplishes this great act can be aptly called a Pita, father. Ayodhyapuri once, on being asked by sage Bharadvaj and few others about the grandeur of Ayodhya, Sutji replied, Ayodhya, a sacrosanct city, is based on the bank of river Saryu. It is the very city where the famous king Ikshvaku ruled once upon a time. The term Ayodhya means unconquerable and consists of 3 root letters, A symbolizing Brahma, Y symbolizing Vishnu and DH symbolizing Rudra. It is a place where Lord Vishnu has his abode for eternity and does not leave it even for a moment. According to the scriptures, Ayodhya is based on Sudarshan Chakra. It is well expanded in the radius of 1 yojan. Its eastern boundary stretches up to 1 yojan from a place called Sahastradhan. Similarly, the western front stretches up to 1 yojan from a place called Sama, the southern up to 1 yojan from the bank of Saryu, and its northern boundary up to 1 yojan starting from the bank of river Tamsa. In ancient times, a Brahman named Vishnu Sharma had performed an austere penance at Ayodhya. Lord Vishnu had appeared after becoming pleased by him and had created a holy place by digging up the earth with his Sudarshan Chakra. Anybody who takes a holy dip in Chakratirth becomes absolved of all his sins. 3 Brahmakand Rameshwar Kshetra once, Shaunak and few other sages asked Sutji as to how could a man become free from the bondage of the world. They also inquired whether there was an existence of any such holy place capable of liberating a man from heinous of sin. Sutji replied, Ramtirth is supreme among all the places of pilgrimage. A mere sight of this holy place is enough to free a man from the bondage of this mortal world. Going on a pilgrimage to Rameshwar gives virtues similar to what is attained by performing all the yagyas. One who takes a holy dip at Seto Rameshwar attains to Vishnu Loka. Merely by sleeping at the seashore of Rameshwar a man gets absolved of heinous of sins like Brahmatya, etc. A man is blessed if his remains are consigned to the holy waters at Rameshwar after his death. Scriptures say that 5 types of sins are as grave as the sin of Brahmahatya. 1. Who criticize sages. 2. A selfish person who cooks food only for himself. 3. One who destroys well-laid path making it difficult for people to tread upon. 4. One who accepts food from a chandal. And 5. One who sells food grains to a chandal. But all these just disappears once the sinner reaches Rameshwar. Setu Band. All the sages were curious to know about the holy places in the vicinity of Rameshwar. Sutji replied. Shri Ram replied, went into exile accompanied by Sita, his consort, and his younger brother, Lakshman. Ravan, the demon king who ruled over Lanka, deceitfully abducted Sita. Subsequently, Shri Ram befriended Sugriv and killed Bali, who harbored enmity against him. Sugriva sent monkeys in all directions to find out where Sita had been kept by Ravan. Later on Shri Ram reached Mahendra Parvat accompanied by Lakshman, Hanuman, Sugriva, Jambavan, Nal and many more brave warriors. They stayed for a brief period at Chakratirth, where Vibhishan came to see Shri Ram. Eventually Vibhishan was nominated the king of all the demons by Shri Ram to the great displeasure of his brother Ravan. Shri Ram and his army faced an uphill task of reaching Lanka, for they had to cross the ocean, which lay as a great barrier between them and their destination. Samudra, ocean, revealed to Shri Ram that Nala had divine powers and whatever he would throw in the ocean would not sink down but keep on floating. Nala tried to check the authenticity of Samudra's statement by throwing a huge rock into the ocean, as he himself was not aware of his powers. To the sheer amazement of everybody present there, the rock started floating on the surface of the ocean instead of sinking down. All the rest of the monkeys tried to emulate Nala's feat by throwing huge rocks into the ocean, and to their own surprise found that the rocks did not sink. This was how a bridge was built and across the ocean, which made it possible for Shri Ram and his army to cross the ocean. Then length of Setu Rameshwar Bandh is 100 yojan and it is 10 yojan broad. There are many holy places situated on the bridge, prominent among which are Chakra Tirth, Papvinshan Tirth, Sita Sarovar, Mangal Tirth, Amritvatika, Brahmakund, Hanumat Kund, Agastya Tirth, Ram Tirth, Lakshman Tirth, Jaya Tirth, Lakshmi Tirth, Agni Tirth, Shiv Tirth, Shank Tirth, Yamuna Tirth, Ganga Tirth, Koti Tirth, Manas Tirth and Dhanushkoti Tirth. Rameshwar Ling. Describing how Shri Ram had installed Rameshwar Ling, Sutji said, after killing Ravan, Shri Ram enthroned Vibhishan as the king of Lanka. While returning to Ayodhya he made a brief stop at Gandhamdan mountain. Since the thought of having killed a Brahman, Ravan, kept on tormenting him, he decided to atone for his sins. So, he installed the idol of Rameshwar Ling at Rameshwar Setu. Rameshwar Ling is so sacrosanct that all the holy places, sages and ancestors are believed to exist within the temple premise of Maheshwar Ling. Being installed by Shri Ram himself, this particular ling has special significance attached to it. One who goes on a pilgrimage to this holy place is certain to attain salvation even if he were a mlecha, born in a low caste. Dharmaranya Kshetra. Once, sage Vyasa went to meet Yudhishthira, who requested him to describe the significance of Dharmaranya Kshetra. Sage Vyasa replied, O king, once, Dharmaraj Yudhishthira did an austere penance to please Lord Shiva. As usual, Indra became scared because he thought that Dharmaraj was doing penance with the intention of acquiring Indraloka. He and other deities went to seek the help of Lord Brahma, who did not have any clue. So, all of them went to Kailash mountain to seek Lord Shiva's help. Since Shiva was aware of Dharma's motive, he explained to the deities that there was nothing to worry about. But, Indra was not satisfied and the thought of losing his kingdom continued to torment him. Indra then instructed a beautiful Apsara named Virgini to go to the place where Dharma was doing penance and disturb him by corrupting his thoughts. Virgini went to the place where Dharma was engrossed in his penance and was successful in disturbing him. When Dharma opened his eyes, he found a beautiful Apsara in front of him. Virgini asked Dharma, O Lord, what is the objective with which you are doing such an austere penance? Being an embodiment of virtuosity yourself, you prevail in the whole world. So, in a sense you already the Lord of the world, what else do you need? Dharma told Virgini that he was doing penance with the objective of having a divine glimpse of Lord Shiva. Virgini informed him that Indra was scared of losing his kingdom and hence had sent her to disturb his penance. Dharma was pleased by her truthfulness and wanted to reward her for that. Virgini expressed her desire of having her abode in Indraloka for eternity and also of having a place of pilgrimage named on her. Dharma blessed her, after which she returned to Indraloka. Dharma once again engrossed himself in penance. Ultimately, Lord Shiva became pleased and appeared before him. Ask for any boon and it shall be bestowed to you, said Lord Shiva. Dharmaraj replied, O Lord, I want this place to be named after me. I also request you to grace this place by your presence. Lord Shiva blessed him and fulfilled both his wishes. This was how Dharmakshetra got its name. Subsequently, Lord Shiva appeared in the form of Dharmeshwar linked in accordance with the second wish of Dharmaraj. After his penance was over, Dharma also had created a holy reservoir over there which is believed to absolve a man of all his sins. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please like and subscribe to be notified of when new audiobooks are uploaded. Thank you for listening and learning. Shanti.